Hi, welcome to Atheist Encounter Podcast. Do you want to know about atheists and their encounters? Then you're in the right place. Alright, so stay tuned as we are about to embark on a journey with another atheist. Hi, welcome to Atheist Encounter Podcast. My name is Farbes and I'm the host. Today we have a guest on our podcast. I will let our guest introduce himself. So you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Adeoye, Oyedele, and I am a graphic designer, and I'm also an atheist.
Alright, Mr. Adeoye, you're welcome to our podcast.
Yeah, thank you.
Our co-host as well, Brendan, can you say hi?
My name is Brendan, and by profession, I am a trucker. Thank you.
I would like to welcome everybody to the podcast today, and we hope you're going to have a great time, as usual. Okay, without wasting much time, we're already behind schedule, so we'll just go straight to the podcast proper. Alright, Mr. Adeoye, you're welcome once again.
Yeah, thank you.
My question here goes, can you define atheism in your own term?
I'm not the kind of person who likes to define things from my own perspective. I like to follow the universal definition for words. And in this situation, atheism can be defined universally as the lack of belief in God.
Okay. Alright, the next question here I have is, what do you think is the biggest misconception about atheism?
The biggest misconception from my own understanding would have to be the belief or the thinking that atheists don't have morals. Apparently religion has stolen these, as I checked rather, this idea of morality. So anyone who is not religious is seen as a devil worshipper or an immoral person. And to be honest, by the time you go deep into the whole understanding of religions, you realize that morality is not really something they can really brag about. But that's just one thing we atheists have, that I think that we atheists have in their eyes. They see us as people who don't have morals, who lack morals. In fact, I know many people who have unfriended me on Facebook, who have stopped being my friends because they naturally believe that I am immoral just because I am not a religious person. And there's this kind of right to ask them whenever anyone comes to me and tell me about, oh, you must be an atheist, where is your moral compass? Or you must be an atheist, if you don't believe in God, then you can do anything you like, you can destroy, you can sin as you like. I used to ask them this question: in all your life, how many wicked people do you know? Then I'll ask them, all the wicked people you know in your life, how many of them are atheists? If truly atheism has something to do with immorality, shouldn't we be having a lot of atheists being immoral people in the world? But when we look at the world today, majority of the wicked people that we all know of are religious people, not atheists. So I am not saying atheists are not generally are not immoral people. What I'm trying to say is that atheists are seen as immoral people, but they are not all immoral people. In fact, I think majority of the atheists that I've met in my life are good people. So the idea that atheists are immoral should really be a misconception of the whole atheism.
All right, thank you for that. And I would like to ask a follow-up question to that. Looking at the fact that religion promotes morality because maybe there's a reward for it. Now that you're irreligious, what's your motivation to be moral, to be morally okay?
As an atheist, like I said, I don't think morality has anything to do with religion. I don't think there is any book that tells us slapping our mom is bad. Morality comes from intelligence. The higher the intelligence of an animal, the more moral the animal becomes. And let's leave humans, for example. Let's go back to other dogs. Let's go down to dogs, cats. I've once seen a news about a cat who ran into a burning building to save, I think, 5 or 6 of its kittens. That's a moral thing to do. The cat didn't read any book, it didn't read anything. It just innately understand that, okay, fine, I can reason and I know this is the right thing to do. And if a cat can do that, why should humans need a book to tell them what to do? We all know what is right and we all know what is bad. Anyone looking for books to tell them what is right or what is wrong, to me, I feel those people are just looking for ways to justify their bad characters. There is nothing like that. Once you are a good person, you don't need any book to do the right thing. We are all smart, and we are all smart enough to know the right thing to do and the wrong thing not to do. So I believe we are all intelligent enough, and I am also intelligent enough to know the right thing to do from the wrong thing. So that's it.
All right, thank you so much for your perspective on that question. Okay, I'll hand you over to Brendan.
How do you see the world without religion? Peaceful or not?
Okay, that's a good question. The world will be a good place without religion. Religion is not really a means for morality. It's more of obedience. Just obey. Whatever God says, obey. It's not, is this the right thing to do? So let's do it. That's not what religion focuses on. And any belief system that focuses on obedience and not morality cannot really progress well in any country. So countries that actually, we have countries today like China, Sweden, and some other Scandinavian countries that are not fully religious, like so many other countries in the world. These countries are actually doing fine without religion. They are doing very well without religion. In fact, right now in UK, some churches are being turned into strip clubs and bars right now in UK. And we can see the development in UK. It's getting better. If the same is done to Nigeria here or any other country that's heavily religious, I believe the morality standards would rise, and the country or the world would be a better place without religion. Thank you.
Okay, I have a follow-up question to that. It goes like this. Since religion is a command and obey, have a command and obey perspective for his followers, don't you think obeying those laws are one of the few things that keep people sane and restricting them from doing harm in the country, in the world as today? You know about the Bible said, thou shalt not harm thy neighbor, or things like that.
I don't think religious people are good because of their religious books. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think the good ones among them are good because of logic, because they can reason, because they have empathy, not because of their book. However, the bad ones among them are bad. Some of them are bad because of the book. They look for ways in which, you can't, I don't think you can actually do bad so well and joyousful unless you are doing it from a religious perspective. It's like from the religious perspective, you feel comfortable doing it. You feel like there is a backing supporting what you're doing. We don't slap our moms, we don't slap our dads because a book said so. We do so because we know it is right. In fact, if you ask some people that, are you aware the Bible supports slavery? Are you aware the Bible supports rape? Are you aware the Bible supports violence? Are you aware the Bible supports genocide in so many ways? They would say no, because they didn't know that such things are in the Bible. You would see them crediting the Bible for their good behavior. If someone does not have empathy, there is no book or any talk that will make the person act right. The person will always act wrong. So I believe you understand me now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that answer. Fabist,
All right. Thank you for that. Mr. Adeoye, tell us about your journey away from religion.
I've always been the type who likes to question things, and the questioning got to a point where I started questioning the Bible itself. And there were so many stories in the Bible that is just confusing to me. And sometimes my mom would invite the pastors to come and help me out with the questioning, because they can't answer the questions, you know. And even the pastor too try his best to look for ways to answer the questions, but I wasn't satisfied with the answers I was getting, because I could clearly see that there are lots of evil in the Bible, and it is being supported by people around me like it's a good thing. It makes me feel like something is wrong somewhere. It got to a point where in the university people ask me, are you a Christian? I'll say yes, but I do not believe in Genesis, because as the time I was in university, I already understood the theory of evolution, and I understood it to be a fact. Then started having the argument, and got to the point I say, even this God we're talking about, and God be proven. I mean, God just there, and right there, as I said that statement, it came to my mind, like, why not make a research online about the existence of God? Then I went online, went to Google, I searched, I typed the question there, and this site came up, godimaginary.com. I clicked it, and as soon as I started reading the articles from that website, within 5 minutes, I became an atheist. I just dropped the whole thing. The whole thing just clicked. Like, now I understood better. Now I understood what's going on. All the questions I've been asking all these years, now I finally found answers. Then I sat down and
within 5 minutes.
Within 5 minutes, I became an atheist.
Okay, go on.
Everything was already settling in my head. The curiosity was already there. So as soon as I gained the knowledge, everything just clicked, and I became an atheist immediately. But I didn't even know what atheists mean. I didn't even know who atheist is. And it was from there, right there online, I realized that if you are someone who doesn't believe in God, they are called atheists. And that's why I started calling myself an atheist. So it's not like maybe I knew about atheism first before I became. I didn't know anything about atheism. In fact, the first atheist I later knew was Brian Griffin, the dog from Family Guy. I mean, I watched an episode, and I saw, when he came out to the public, that he's an atheist. And so that was the first time ever I could see someone, claiming to be an atheist. And that was where the whole thing cleared, and I just knew who I am, and that's it. I kept it close. I kept it to myself for a while, a couple of months before I told my parents. And immediately I told my parents. My dad understood immediately, he didn't like you. But my mom was still a bit worried. Even till today, my mom she doesn't really accept it fully, but she loves me as a son, and I love her as a mom, and everything we go. But when it comes to religion, I just don't go there. My father immediately got it, and everything clicked from there. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that. I really appreciate your sincerity in answering that. Okay, so basically, what you just said is you became an atheist because you were skeptical in the first place, and then you went for researches. You researched and you discovered the whole thing is false. Now, my next question is, what would be your advice to somebody who is skeptical as you were, and then trying to come out as an atheist, but then he is dependent on some people for financial support? Like let's say he's depending on a father or a friend, or let's say an organization that runs maybe religiously. What would be your advice to that person? Do you advise that person to come out as an atheist, or he should just kind of camouflage?
We have intelligence and we have wisdom. Just because someone is intelligent doesn't mean the person is wise. Intelligence is the proper use of knowledge, while wisdom is the proper use of intelligence. So meaning that just because you are intelligent enough to know that religion is a scam doesn't mean you tell every single person you meet that religion is a scam. That's where the wisdom comes in, knowing when to use your intelligence know when to use what you know about religion and everything to, to live your life. If you're living with some people who are religious, if you're living with some people who take religion very, very serious, and you depend on these people, I think it is only wise for you to remain with them and not get open with your atheism until you know you are free enough to tell people. Because losing your support just because of a belief or an unbelief system, to me, I feel is not worth it. The best thing is to stick around, go to their church, pray with them, worship with them. I mean, it's not like a big deal. I can watch as I am right now. I've done it before. I mean, when I was about to get married, when I went to my in-laws' place, of course, I have to not, start yabbing around like, oh, I'm an atheist. Who does that? Come on, you have to calm down and, you have to understand that you are in the presence of religious people, and you can never ever come up with any argument. You can't even educate them on religion. So just listen and just live your life in a peaceful way with them. Try to relate with them. Try to not confuse their understanding of religion until you are free. Then when you are free, you can do as you like. Even me, there was a time I was teaching in a church school. School was owned by a pastor, and throughout when I was there, I was not this open about atheism. I kept it to myself. I didn't even post anything online about atheism. I kept it to myself. It was until I left the place. However, as I was keeping to myself, some people, some even the proprietor and the proprietress, they knew, and they're like a couple, husband and wife. So we call them, like that. I think we called the husband director, we called the wife a proprietress. Yeah, I knew eventually, and because of how good I was at teaching, they couldn't sack me. They just kept me. Even after I left the school, they still kept calling me back to help with some of their kids, meaning that they were able to appreciate what I could give and not my religious background. So it was after I left there, I was now open about this, because I realized that, okay, I am now on my own. I don't need any boss anymore. So now I can freely come out and be who I am and tell the world and try to educate more people about it. So that's my advice. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that advice.
Okay, you're welcome.
Yeah. All right, moving away from that question, let's move on to our next question here. We have this, can you give religion some flowers?
Generally, it's morality that comes to mind whenever anyone talks about religion, and how religion has actually helped our society. But the morality that comes from the religion is tarnished by the immoral behaviors or immoral acts and commands and verses from the books. So it's difficult for me to say, oh, without religion, with religion rather, this has been able to happen, because I don't really see it as anything important. Take away religion today, the world would actually be a better place. I see it as something that actually it corrupts the mind, it dilutes the brain, and it just makes people, in my own words, less of a human. There are some pastors who are humanists. There are some imams, some Islamic clerics who are humanists. Now, would we say that just because some of these pastors and imams are humanists, does that mean that the religion itself is what they follow? I would say no. So if a pastor chooses to help, because there's a verse in the Bible that states that you should love your neighbor, I don't think that pastor is doing so because of the Bible. I believe the pastor is doing so because the pastor, inherently on his own, is willing to do good. So I wouldn't say it's because of religion. I wouldn't say that. In fact, I think this is actually done much more worse, that it should be doing the opposite. So my point is this. Generally, my point is this: the Bible, the Quran, the religious books that we are familiar with, they've done more worse than good. And whichever good that they can claim that they do can be done without them. So I wouldn't even say it was them that gave rise to the goodwill of others. So I still won't connect the morality part to any religious book. I won't. So I think the answer should be no then. That there is no flowers I could give any religion. Not. Because any single thing that they can do that looks like it's something good can still also be done without the religion. And I don't think they are being done because of the religion. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that. So basically, you are saying no flowers for religion at all.
Yes, none at all. Like, I can't really think of something. Any single part that I would like to give religion is something that can be given to something else. Like, I can't really credit religion for that thing. I can't think of any right now. I can't. If it's morality, I would say it's not religion. I would say it's just reasoning, human reasoning. If it is what else? Maybe charity. Charity doesn't come from religion, it comes from something else. However, some people may claim that they are being charitable because of their religion. But I would say it's not because of the religion, it's because of something else. So, to be honest, I really can't find anything that the religion does that we can say, oh, this is only because of the religion. I can't find any at all.
All right. So what do you have to say about some people who, when they are actually trying to do good, they'll say, "I'm doing this because of God, or it's because of God that I'm doing it." What do you have to say about that?
Anyone saying I'm doing good because of God, if our son will say I'm doing good because I want to go to heaven, those people, I don't really think they are doing good because of God or because of heaven. I genuinely believe they are doing good because they are good, not because of any religion told them to do so. Remember when I said, no one told you to not slap your mom, no one told you to not slap your dad. You inherently know that. Imagine someone now telling me that, or telling you that, oh, I don't slap my father, or I don't slap my mom because my book said so. No one says that, right? No one. Everyone just knows that, of course, that's a normal thing. But it's only when it gets to a part where you have to actually do something, charitable, then you go like, oh, it's because of a book I read. I don't think it's so. I think you're just willing to give that book a kind of credit for what you're doing, just because you couldn't think of any other thing that you could credit for giving you, for you being able to be that kind of charitable person. So whoever says that, I'm sorry, they're only saying that based on their tradition, not because they're actually saying it from reality, from what's actually good. They don't be factual about what they're saying. So I just look at such people and go like, okay, fine, that's what you think, but I'm sorry, I don't think so. So that's it.
All right, thank you for that as well.
You're welcome.
All right, how do you handle people who try to convert you to their religion? Like now that you're an atheist, and people coming to convert you, maybe preach to you, telling you are going to hell if you don't repent. How do you handle that?
All right, thank you for that. I am a logical person, and I love to approach things logically. Just because I'm an atheist doesn't mean I can never ever change my mind. And my mind is not, I don't have a closed mind when it comes to this kind of concepts. I have a very open mind, meaning that I will believe anything as far as it is proven to be factual. Now, when it comes to religion, it has already been proven not to be factual. I'm talking about religions like Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Deism, all these religions that we know of. They have already been proven not to be factual. It's just like someone coming to meet me trying to tell me that Santa Claus exists, and Santa Claus wants me to be is a worshipper or something. And look at the person like the person is not okay upstairs, because everyone knows that Santa Claus does not exist. So the way I see Santa Claus is the exact same way I see all these Yahweh, Allah, Olorun, Chukwu, Upangiji, Ra, Odin, Zeus, Jupiter, and co. I see all of them as the same thing. So if someone comes to me and tells me, oh wow, would you like to accept Jesus Christ as personal and savior, I would just go straight to the point and just go like, you know what, instead of me to go like, all these things don't exist, I won't do that, because it looks like a kind of rude way to talk to these people and go like, oh, Jesus Christ is fake, your God is this. No, I won't do that. I'll try to reason with the person. My first question most times is, okay, this book you're giving to me, have you read this book? Do you know what's inside fully? Most of the time the answer is always no, like completely from Genesis to Revelation. They mostly say no. And whenever they say no, the next thing that comes to my mind is, okay, fine, if you've not read this book thoroughly, how then can you be sure that whatever is in this book is accurate? Why not first of all study this book first before you go around and start telling other people to believe in the book? So I'll tell them that, and if they still go like, but God exists, God has already, once you have the Holy Spirit, any part of the Bible you read, you understand, then I can start delving into more questions about God and about how whatever it's in the Bible is just a claim. And if they can prove what is written there in the Bible, I will believe. And they go from there to, instead of them to go ahead to prove, they will still keep on giving me Bible verses, and to get to a point in time I'll just get bored, and I'll tell them to get back to me when they have facts. And that's how it ends for me. And that's it. I think that's just like a reasonable way to do it. Unless if I feel like the person is someone I can really debate, that I can now go down deeply, talk about many things that I know about the religion. So, but in most cases, it doesn't really get to that level before everyone just goes their separate ways. Thank you.
Mr. Adeoye, thank you for your answers, but I have a follow-up question to that. Let's assume your very own friend, someone you trust so much, who is also an atheist. You guys have been atheists for years, and suddenly he comes to you like, oh, I just met God today. God appeared to me and told me that he showed me everything, that God actually exists, that he appeared to me. Will you believe that, your friend?
Thank you for the question. There is this thing that I used to say, I don't know if I've said it once on Facebook, but it's a common thing. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary proofs. So you saying that you met God, you saw God, you spoke to God, that is an extraordinary claim. So I am not a kind of person that would just go straight and go like, oh, I believe you. I don't even do that to other things, like not just religion, anything at all. Before I could believe you, it means I have a strong reason to believe what you're saying. I don't trust people easily, not even in religion, in anything. So if you come to me and tell me, oh, you met God, you saw God, there'll be questions. And if I'm asking you these questions and you're unable to give me facts, I'll look at you as someone that's not serious, and I'll just ignore you and move on with my life. So anyone who comes to me and telling me all that, even if the person is my closest friend, I'll ask for proof. And if the person can't prove anything, I just ignore. That's it.
Thank you very much for that. It answers my question perfectly. Thank you.
Go on. Just go on. Drop yours. Go on.
You know that there's a way love can mess with our thinking. Like, you are aware of that, right?
Yeah, I'm aware.
Okay. Let's assume you fall in love with this woman strongly. She's intelligent and all this and all that, but she is religious. And in her own ways, she believes you should follow her to church. Even if you don't clap or that or this, but you should follow her to church like every Sunday. She knows that you are an atheist and you don't want to miss this woman because you are very in love with her. What will you do in this situation?
I think this is a very, very nice time for me to confess on something. What you just said actually happened to me for real when I was like 26, 27, really young, like 10 years ago. Wait, more than 10 years ago actually. Okay, this lady, she's the daughter of a general overseer of the church. So you can understand how deep the connection is. I fell in love with her, And to be honest, I just I became a church goer because of her. I'm not kidding. I became a church goer every Sunday. Every Sunday, in fact, I would go there, I would worship, I would sing down, dance, everything. In fact,
That's lovely.
yeah, for months, we fell in love.
Things
Yeah,
to do
we
for
fell in
love.
love. Yeah, we fell in love later, and well, I mean, when I say love, I mean like really deep love. Before I met her, I was never in a serious relationship. Whenever I date is just a couple of 2 months, 3 months, that's all. But with her, I was able to last 2 years in a relationship. Like it was really, really deep. Like we were really, really there, you know. It was after like 6 months or so in our relationship that I told her that I am an atheist. I should have told her earlier, but I felt if I told her earlier, it wouldn't even be there won't be a relationship at all. So it was like 6 months later that I told her. She got really sad about it, but she couldn't just end the relationship because there's been a lot of feelings involved already. Even our family, when they hear that I'm an atheist, their actions towards me didn't change. They still love me for who I am, even though I still go to their church. They see me, they welcome me, actually the family is really, really nice. I won't lie to you, for them to still be able to welcome me into their midst and all that. And they would even say sometimes that we love you, we like you, we love the way you talk, we love the way you act, but it's just this your religion that you don't have that's making us, but we still feel like someday it will change. That's what they keep telling me, and I'll be like, oh yes ma, of course I will change, man. Just because I love the girl, you know. And
Funny. This is funny.
it's true, it's so true. And it went on like that until I think after a while she went to school. Yeah, she went to school and the whole thing just changed. You know how girls act and once they enter school. So she got to school and the whole relationship just ended, and I moved on with my life. But for that period in time, I did what I did for love. So I was able to do that. If you ask me then that, okay, how would the future look like if you marry this lady? How will your kids go to school? All that time I wasn't thinking about the future. All I was thinking about is this girl should just be my girl. And to be honest, she was really beautiful, like really beautiful, just as I wanted, you know. But the religious aspect, I feel like, well, maybe as time goes by, she'll be able to understand, you know, religion, and you know, because she's actually intelligent. She's intelligent. I'm something sexual, so as a sexual, I can't fall in love with someone that is not intelligent. So she was intelligent and everything was going well, but there's a religious aspect that is just weird. But eventually everything went sideways, and that's all. That's how it ended. So I did it in the past, but now that I'm married, I don't think it's necessary anymore. But yeah, something I did in the past. But now I don't think I would do it.
It's actually funny how you said you went to church, you danced and all that.
Oh, I did. In fact, I even supported the church building then. I could remember. I gave the pastor 3,000 naira. You know, I could still remember how much I gave them.
Wow.
So much interested in the girl. Oh, there was even a time. There was a time when something. Maybe I should keep that to myself. Something very, very weird. I keep that to myself. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I love that. Mr. Fabulous, please can you take over? Thank you.
Wow. This is just what I can say for now. Just wow. I mean, who could have thought? All right. Okay, let me just go straight to my next question. Do you think religion holds back the progress of a nation? Or in this case, let's say Africa. Do you think religion holds back the progress of Africa?
Yes, religion does in many ways. Thank you for the question, by the way. It does in many ways. It does because well, it's good you said Africa, because other continents, there are some other people, other countries, some other continents who don't treat religion the way we do it here in Africa. If it's here in Africa, yes, religion is a major part of our degrading societies, and the fact that we couldn't progress to where we should. You see, in Africa, yeah, religion is the answer to most of our questions. In fact, it got so bad that there are some people who can't have a conversation with you for like 5 minutes and not mention God or not mention anything religious. It's like a common thing. It's like all we know here is religion. That's like, to be honest, I think religion should be our major export and not oil, because oil is nothing compared to religion in this country, even in this continent. Everything is just religion, this, religion, that. And if you're not religion, you're still as abnormal. If you're not religious, rather, you're still as abnormal. So, the ways in which it can really affect our progress here, is in our decision making. In our decision making, we see nothing wrong with indoctrinating kids. In fact, we see it as a right. We see it as a need that our kids must be indoctrinated. But when kids get indoctrinated with lies, it messes them up when they grow up and they find out that they've been indoctrinated with lies. They tend to have double lives. Tend to have this life they show to their parents, and they have another life. And when kids are told that, oh, if you do this, you go to hell, if you do that, you go to hell, and they realize that they could do those things and not go to hell. In the Bible, it's if you can repent of your sins, and God will forgive you, no matter how sad or how deep the sin is, God will forgive you. So if you have that mentality that God will always forgive me, then I can go ahead and do whatever I like and just ask for forgiveness. There are some people right now who, in their mind, is like, before I die, if even someone shoots me, the last thing I should say is God forgive me, so that if I die, I'll go to heaven. There are some people with that mentality in Africa today. So they feel like they can do whatever they like. They can kill, they can steal, they can lie, as far as they can always ask for forgiveness. When you have a country or a continent filled with people like this, the country can never progress, because the morality, the empathy needed for them to act morally has been corrupted by religion. That is one. Number two, we have some people in Africa, especially here in Nigeria, who genuinely believe that if they face danger, when they come face to face with danger and they shout, "I am choosing" 3 times, they'll be safe. Whatever it is they do at that moment in time will just be a miracle. Such people need to be sensitized. They need to be educated to make them understand that facing danger is actually wrong. We have some men of God today who believe that the right thing for them to do is to enable these people to feel safe when they are supposed to panic. These actions could lead to deaths, injuries, and possible mental breakdown for so many people in the future. And this thinking is bad for any country or any continent. And I'm just talking about that for I am choosing alone. There are other believers like that too. I once came in contact with someone who told me that, oh, if you have HIV, just bring the person to my phone. I'll pray for the person and the HIV will disappear. For real, there are people who believe that whatever disease you have, all you have to do is just to pray. So these people can go ahead and, get in contact. They can eat contaminated food. They can, do whatever they like, and they feel like, as far as I can always pray, my diseases will vanish, so I can do whatever I like. Such people should not be the highest population in any country or any continent anywhere, because such thinking is not a progressing thinking. I mean, I once also met this girl, a 10-year-old girl or so, and I was about to buy something for my mom, and she was about to buy this local tea that is being sold in nylon bags. And as the seller of the tea left, I told her to stop buying such tea because it can be contaminated with lots of microorganisms. And she told me she's going to prove right that once she does that the microorganism will just vanish. I felt like educating her right there that prayers doesn't do that. But I felt like if I
why can't you just pray for the sickness to go? Why you can't use that same prayer to make the sickness to go instead of buy the tea? Right. But unfortunately, this girl has been indoctrinated to believe that our prayers can chase away microorganisms, can chase away germs from what she's about to drink. And imagine having a country full of people like that. The progressing nature is going to be really, really reduced. It can't really go far. We can't really go far with that. So, that and so many other reasons. So many other. We have also this mentality that there are some people here in Nigeria who genuinely believe that whatever the government says, we follow.
because that's what the Bible told them to do. That there's nothing like protest. Protesting is against the Bible, so whatever the government says, we follow because it was God who placed them there. That thinking is also bad because no nation, I repeat, no nation gets better without protest. Protest is a normal thing. It's expected. It's expected. Here in Nigeria, many people accept anything the government gives them because of how their religion have programmed them to believe. So that are so many things. If I start talking about them now, the politic hours. So many things are just wrong with religion, and many people, if a continent is filled with people like that, the progress should be something that shouldn't be expected anytime soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. I sincerely appreciate you for that. I will hand you over to the co-host.
Okay, thanks for the opportunity to ask this one. Mr. Adeoye, I would love to ask this question because, during my time coming up as an atheist, I had mixed beliefs, like maybe our African spirituality actually works. All this juju and dibia and all that, maybe they actually works because of some of the tricks I used to see back then. I see them like, ooh, some people say they have experiences with bulletproof and all that they can't get caught when they drink something and all that. But my question will go in this one direction. Mr. Adeoye, do you think in any way that money ritual works in any way at all? Money rituals.
Money ritual actually, that's just a hoax. It doesn't exist. However, there are some people who believe that it works for them. I've not met them in person, but I've seen someone, whenever you argue online, they'll tell you, oh, I know a brother in my neighborhood did that, and he made this money. But these things can't be proven because we can't really connect the doings, the rituals to the money making aspect. You can't really connect that. In most cases, it's just maybe the person has some kind of money source or in some way, and the person just look for something to just not share the secret of where he's making his money. Just come up with, I'm into rituals. Just keep people quiet from asking him where he got his wishes from. People can do that. So I don't believe money rituals at all. However, when you talk about black magic, now that's nothing entirely. You see, I'm an African. I can't say it's impossible that I've not heard or seen these things before, or come across people with some kind of abilities. Okay, but the thing there is this: I see it as science. When I say science, I mean knowledge. Human knowledge, like the ability to study something, learn something, then make experiments with that thing, then get results from that thing, then make a body of facts from that thing. Just science. What we do in labs is what these abilists do in their shrines to get results. It's just that their methods might not be as accurate as the ones that are being done in the lab. Because when it comes to microorganisms and all this, they don't really know what they are, but they can. Just like, for example, if you ask an herbalist that, okay, fine, I have malaria, what do I take? They'll tell you, oh, go to the forest, take not forest per se, just look for this leaf, look for that liquid, mix them together, take it, and your malaria will disappear. You see, them saying that doesn't mean that they know fully well what protozoans are. When I say protozoans, I'm talking about the protozoa responsible for malaria. I'm talking about Plasmodium species. They don't really know about that. But all they just know is that, oh, it has been done in the past and it worked, trial by error, and it worked. So hey, do this, do that, and it works. They don't understand the process. They don't have understanding of the chemicals required to get the job done. All they know is that this has been done in the past and this is done now and it works. And since it always works, they see that there's nothing wrong with that. I just don't bother to get the understanding. To me, I see it as science, but it's just poor science, not like the science that we used to have. Now that is just the herbal part. What about the mystical part of someone disappearing, someone, to me, I will still say it's like science. Don't get me wrong, I am not saying every single case is real. No, there are so many cases that are fake. So many that are fake. But to say that all of them are fake, nah, that's where I will come like, no.
Oh, they are not 100% fake.
Nah, there's this man, Sunday Igboho. Sunday Igboho is still alive today. Sunday Igboho has done some feats in the past that I just can't ignore. I can't say it's a lie. If you go and study Sunday Igboho, just take your time, go and study him. He has done some things in the past. He was an activist, and I think he's still an activist till now. He did some things for Igboho, and he saved Igboho in the past from Budakeke's war in the past, and he was able to do some things then. Those things are so clear that everyone saw him do it. Now, if you ask me, are those things real? I'll say if he could do it, I'm sure there should be a scientific explanation for how he did it. So all I care about is the science behind what he's doing. I won't say there are some gods responsible. I won't say no. I just believe that he's able to make some herbs and get some herb backs and combine them together to get. Now, when it comes to the part where you say some things, I'm able to connect maybe frequency. Maybe the frequency of whatever it is, because there's a way they speak sometimes. The frequency, maybe it's what comes together to get it. I don't understand the science, but I believe that it can be explained scientifically. There is nothing outside of science. Everything is just knowledge. Once you get it, it becomes normal. Because I know this because there are some things that has been explained by science. Like for example, cloud seeding. Recently, I got to know about cloud seeding. In the past, we hear about these people who can control rain. You can't say those ones are fake. You can't say that. They are real. They're very, very real. But what they do is a scientific process called cloud seeding. It's something you can study online, and you can practice it on your own, and you will see rain fall for real. So meaning that whatever it is these people are doing, just because I am unable to explain it scientifically now, doesn't mean it's not a scientific thing. Now that I'm not still saying that they can every single thing I read. Just like for example, I heard one man saying that one man actually he vomited a cow. Now when you say something like that, I would say I don't believe you. And of course, even every single one of them too. If you come to me and tell me, oh, this man he vanished from one place and he showed up somewhere else, that is he what's it called when there's a word it's called, I forgot.
Teleportation.
Like someone teleported from somewhere and landed somewhere. If you come to me and tell me that kind of thing, the first thing I would say is I don't believe you, because I have not seen any proof yet. But can someone teleport in real life? I'll say it is possible. I don't have all the knowledge of science in the world right now. I don't have all. It's possible that right now in USA there's a device somewhere that people can actually make use of that will make them teleport. It is possible. It's also possible that there's somewhere in Osun State where a man has some ways to make people teleport for real. It is possible, but I have not seen any proof for any of that yet. So what I'll say is I don't believe until I see the proof. The things that we call magic now are just science that we don't know. It's just a way of us being ignorant of what we are seeing. If you truly know what it is, it stops being juju, it stops being magic, it starts being what it is. So in essence, there is no such thing as magic. Nothing. Every single thing you call magic, you only call it magic because you are ignorant of that thing. The moment you become gain knowledge about that thing, it stops being magic, it becomes what it is. So imagine like what I call cloud seeding now is what majority of Nigerians are still calling juju. Yes. So I know it's called cloud seeding. So even hypnotism is another thing. Hypnotism is something that if you join any Nigerian, they'll call you, oh, this person must be a juju or a medicine man or something, or a tibia or something. Whereas it's just something you can learn. You can even learn it online. You can learn hypnotism online and hypnotize people for real in real life. You can do that. But just because many people don't learn, they only know what these things are. And of course, when it comes to learning, when it comes to making researches, then Nigerians and Africans are so far behind. It's almost like we are allergic to studying. It's almost like we are allergic to making researches. If you want to just shut someone up Just ask them about researches that they've made about whatever topic they're talking about. And that's most people just shut up from that aspect because they don't make researches. They don't. So if we could start, and one of the reasons why people don't make researches is because they believe they have the answer. God did it. God did it. So if I know that God did it, why should I bother myself making any research? Which is another reason why the whole idea of God doing anything, or the whole idea of religious beliefs, is bad. It's bad. It makes people feel relaxed with knowing nothing about the universe, and it is very, very bad. That is why we are far behind as a continent. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You really cleared the air in that aspect, like you cleared everything completely. Thank you very much for that. I love the explanation and all the details to the answers. I love them very much. Thank you very much for that. Mr. Fabius, please, over to you.
My question here is, are there some things you did to promote religion then that you now find absolutely disgusting and, should I say, dumb? Go on.
Oh, I thank you for the question. I could remember when I was still in school. There were some things I did. There was this guy. I was named Franklin. Yeah, his name is Franklin. He was like a pastor in school then, and to be honest, he was like, he took it upon himself to make sure I become very religious. Like I said, I have never been very, very religious before, but I just don't know why. I just feel like, just because I guess in school I was more of a loner in school, but I sometimes crave the company of friends and people. So I guess it got to a point in time where I still believe I know it. So I joined him in evangelism, to get some people to this fellowship we used to have in the evening, and I spoke to some of my classmates about it, and I guess that's it. That's the only thing I could say. Oh yeah. It got to a point in time where one of his preaching was, we don't need to take drugs, don't need to take medicine or any medications. Just believe in God, and whenever you're sick, just believe in God and your sickness will go. And me actually believe what he said. I don't know why. I don't know. I guess I was so in love with the preaching or with the environment that I lost myself there. And for a while I actually felt sick, and I would try my best not to take drugs. Normally I'm a lazy person. I'm a lazy person when it comes to, I won't really call it lazy. I'll call it selective hardworking. Yeah, that's it. I'm selectively hardworking. Meaning that there are some things that I'm very hardworking at, and there are some things that I'm very lazy at. You see, when it comes to taking drugs, I'm just so lazy at that aspect. So when I now meet someone telling me that, oh, you don't need to take drugs, just believe in God. So I've been like, oh really? Oh cool. I didn't know there's an alternative. So I will fall sick then, and I will refuse to take drugs. I'll just be like, oh, leave in road with, until one day when I actually tried and I met myself in the hospital, with drape around me and all that. I almost died. I almost died because of my belief in God, And ever since then, I stopped going to the fellowship. I just, in fact, my belief in the religion reduced a little after that, because I did what I was supposed to do. I prayed, I fasted, I did the right thing I was supposed to do. Then why am I still in the hospital? Definitely something must be wrong somewhere. So, and again, the guy showed me verses from the Bible that supported his preaching. So, meaning that what he's saying is actually something a normal Christian should understand and should do. So, it really affected me then a little bit. But I guess that is the only thing I could say I did that was stupid when I was religious, because of religion. Yeah, thank you.
What about going to church because of a girl, or let's say because of love? What about that?
Even when I was going to church for love, I still wasn't really enjoying it. I was just doing it, just trying to force myself to do it just because I just wanted to, be a guy, and it worked. I got the girl. I did. It worked. It worked. Everything was not in vain. It worked. So, but it got to a point I could remember vividly. It got to a point the man actually, the father, the general overseer, because most of his children are daughters, so he didn't have any male son. His male son is really young, so he can't really take over the church. And the man came to meet me, telling me he'd like me to take over from him. I was looking at him like, but the man is old actually, he's like in his 70s. So he was thinking about retiring, and he was thinking maybe I would be the next
duo.
By now, if I don't make billions,
Now you fuck up now. God was pulling him closer to himself.
Right.
Go fuck up. Go fuck up. You would have gotten the
I
girl.
wish I could tell him straight there that because I don't
You would have gotten the girl and gotten the church. Then what the hell? I've gotten the money. Imagine you give away everything for a scene. It doesn't make sense, man.
I couldn't, because me going there alone was a lie. So I am not, to be honest, the fact that I did all those things didn't make me feel good, because I was lying to these people, and I am not like
so
a
you
person.
couldn't keep expectations lying.
I couldn't keep lying and push to the extent where I'll now be seen as a pastor. No, when I'm actually in real sense, I'm actually trying to educate people away from religion. Why would I now become a pastor? Nah, I couldn't do that. So I asked the man no, he felt a little bit disappointed, but I'm sorry, I just couldn't do it. Then it was then later he found out that I'm an atheist. It was just funny. It was funny. But yeah, all that happened in the past, and so yeah, that's it.
Have you been ostracized because of your irreligiosity?
Thank you for the question. To be honest, yeah, in a way, okay, like I said, I've lost some contracts in the past because of it. I've lost some friends because of it. I haven't lost a companion, a lover actually. That was actually, in fact, I shouldn't be in Nigeria by now. I should have been in Paris by now, and and the whole thing it didn't go well because I'm an atheist. I've lost a lot of things, but I also gained a lot of wonderful people. And again, true friends. People that I can bank on, people I can trust. Like Fabest here. We argue a lot, but I see a lot of good in him, and he's one of the wonderful people I could say that I've met because of my atheism. So
for that.
The ostracized.
I say we go put champagne this night after this podcast. Me and you will pop champagne. You say you are the
Now, bro.
You know what's that?
That's how.
Doesn't cross it to that level.
That's how we roll, bro. That's how we roll.
All right.
Go on.
So when you're talking about the exercising parts, I could say maybe from people that I wanted to build a future with. I'm talking about my ex-girlfriends, fiancés that actually, even fiancés, yes. There was even one that I was about to get married to, that the whole thing ended because of religion. And I could say, yeah, that part. My family as well, they felt like, can't marry this person because this person is somehow, and all that ended too. So I could say, but for my loved ones, some people that I really see as the people that are actually close to me, none of them actually did that. Like, they were still fully loving, even though they know I'm not a religious person. So I was really fully exercised. I was still treated. I guess it's because of my nature, the kind of person I am. Yes, yeah, that's it.
All right, thank you so much for that, Mr. Adeoye, and I'll hand you over to the co-host rather.
Do you see LGBTQ as a natural occurrence? Like, do these people, are they born with it? Are they born gay, or they get to be gay due to their environment or relation to some people with same mentality or feelings?
Oh, thanks for that. You see, LGBTQ is a lot. It's not just one thing. Okay, gay is just part. The G in LGBTQ is gay, stands for gay. So gay is just separate from LGBTQ. Lesbians, they are also gay. then we have the bis, we have the transgenders, then we also have the queers. You see, the transgenders, to me, I could say there are some people who are naturally transgenders. It's possible. There's this this syndrome, this disease, or this kind of syndrome, kind of situation in some people. It's called androgen insensitive syndrome. That is AIS. It's found in some women who do not have ovaries. Instead of ovaries, they have testes. And so physically they are women, but genetically they are men. These things exist. They exist. So people like that, they can't have kids. They can't even have menstruation. It's a real thing. You can Google it.
So that's a natural defect.
It's a natural defect. You can Google it. It's androgen insensitive syndrome. You can make a research on that. AIS. It's happened. It's actually a normal thing. There are many people who are like that naturally. However, there are some people who just wake up one morning without anything and go like, you know what? Today I feel like being a woman. Let me identify myself as a woman.
That's risky.
Those ones exist. Okay. Now I wouldn't say those ones are like that because of anything natural. I guess that one's just a thing of emotions. So when it comes to that aspect, I'll be like, this one's anti-deluded. But there are some real cases, intersex, that's what they call them, intersex cases where transgenderism is actually a normal, expected thing. So those people are actually expected, they are advised to go for a sex change. Meaning that they are advised to go for the surgery required to make them who they actually are. Because a woman who looks like a woman but was having a scrotal sac in there instead of the ovaries is not a woman, because definitely a chromosome is not going to be XS, it's going to be XY, and that makes the lady a man and not a lady. So such people, if such people can go for a full surgery that could make them have their own male organs, again, this is the right way to go. But those other ones, and please, I don't really have anything. Those ones I feel like they have to do that. Now that's for the transgender aspect. Now for the bis, the gays, those ones, they're natural. They are very, very natural. At least the ones that are real. There are some that are fake, but the real ones, they are natural because they also exist in thousands of other animal species. Humans are animals. We are animals too. We are not higher animals. We are also animals. So if other animals could face something, it could affect humans too. So if homosexuality can be found in thousands of other species, it can be found in humans too. We can't be an exception just because we look special. No. So gays exist, and as a biologist, it would be very wrong for me. Well, I say biologist because I studied biology university, so that's why I call myself a biologist. But I practice graphic design, in real life now. So, but at least biology is my discipline. So, as a biologist, I can't see such a case and just ignore it and go like it's all a lie. No, it's real. And people who are gay, they can't become straight. It's impossible. Once you are gay because you are born gay. Nobody can just wake up one morning and say, you know what, I want to become gay. Gay is not the sex. Gay is how you feel. It's like the feelings who you are sexually attracted to. You don't have to have the sex before you're called gay. You can be a guy and all you think about is a man's specs and everything. If you're a guy who can't, whenever you see a lady, you don't get turned on. They exist. There are some men like that. They exist. They don't get turned on by a woman at all. Whenever they see men, they get turned on. That's just how we don't really have choices. We can't really control who we have feelings for. We can't just wake up tomorrow and say, okay, I want to start having feelings for men. I don't have feelings for women again. It's impossible. It can never happen. So the people that are actually having feelings for men, they didn't do so because they chose to have feelings for men. It just came naturally. And those people, we call them gay. So, and again, whenever you ask them in Nigeria, we support gay marriage, they'll say no. But can you ever allow your daughter to marry a gay or to marry a guy that is acting like a lady? They'll say no. Why would I don't want that? Okay, you don't want your daughter to marry them, but you still don't want these people to marry themselves. I think I see that as being cruel. Let them be. I am not gay, I'm straight, but that doesn't mean that I'll see a gay person and I won't support that man or lady from living the life that they enjoy, because forcing them to marry opposite sex is like forcing me to marry a man. That's exactly how it feels. No straight person can become gay, and no gay person can become straight. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that.
It's what I do is this. My Facebook post talks a lot about religion, so I do that a lot. I educate people a lot about religion. I tried my best to come as a question just to make some people think about things, at least the ones that I will need to think. Also, people I meet one-on-one, I sometimes educate them on evolution and many things. Now, I said evolution not because all atheists believe in evolution or accept evolution as a fact. No, I talk about evolution because it's actually the Christianity destroyer. It's the Christianity destroyer. Whoever says evolution came out, Christianity died. Even Islam too died. But in order for people to understand where I'm coming from, sometimes I try to use real life scenarios and everything like that. I even things they can see with their eyes. So yeah, I do that a lot, but I only do it with people that I can relate with, not just everyone in general. In fact, there are some people that will come to me that will deny atheism straight up. I'll tell them, oh no, I'm a Christian. Like, for example, if my mother-in-law comes face to face with me right now and asks that question, I will totally deny atheism, because that's where the wisdom comes in. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much for the answer. Thank you very much. Mr. Fabrice, over to you.
Thank you so much for that response, Mr. Adeoye.
Oh yeah, you're welcome. I really appreciate that.
Okay, all right. The next question I have here is, do you have some regret, or do you have some moment where you regret being an atheist?
It affected me a little bit when I was still trying to get a partner. In the past, there are some people I would meet, and the moment they hear I'm an atheist, is blocking. It's like they just don't want to hear it. Okay, and it's not just atheism alone. Knowledge. The more knowledge you have, the more of a loner you tend to become, because the more people look at you and think you're stupid, like you're crazy, because of the kind of knowledge you have. It's not just about, because there are some things happening in Nigeria today, politic-wise, that when you give people a solution to the problems, just because the solution is not what they are used to, they see you as someone that's not okay upstairs, and they insult, and some will just try to get away from you and all that. So what I'm trying to say is this: the knowledge entirely, apart from just being an atheist, just having knowledge alone in Nigeria right now, having a lot of knowledge is like seen as an outcast, like someone that is not okay upstairs. So yeah, being an atheist, of course, like I mentioned earlier, I lost some contracts too in the past. But would I say all these things made me regret being an atheist? I would say no, not regret totally, but just made me feel bad for a short period of time, But when I realized that, those are just the cons of being an atheist in Nigeria, but the pros are also there. And whenever I remember the pros, I'm always happy, I'm always joyous for being an atheist. So that's it.
Thank you so much for your time and for
your
responses we got from you.
I really
sharing your personal.
I appreciate. I will have to confess, you are actually very intelligent.
Oh,
I swear.
thank you for that.
Brendan, are you surprised? I actually make friends with intelligent people.
I surprised, but she does yourself.
Thank you.
I make friends with very, very intelligent people.
Thank you.
You got me wearing.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your responses and your perspectives on the issues we raised during the podcast, and also your personal experiences you shared with us. We sincerely appreciate that. And we hope that one day when we invite you to the podcast, you are going to honor our invitation as well.
Sure. I mean, I can't wait. I love this. When I just need to understand where atheists are coming from, the way they reason, what they're actually talking about, and the misconception needs to be cleared. And podcasts like this can really go far in doing that.
Yeah, thank you for that as well. And do you have some recommendation or things we need to improve in order to get better as time goes on?
So far, you guys are really doing a wonderful thing. I mean, so far, it starts little. As time goes by, other recommendations will come in and to be better. More people will be involved, and before you know it, I think this is like the first podcast that will be dedicated towards atheism in Nigeria that I know of. And being the first means that it can really go far if done well. For the recommendations, I think I can't really say any yet because you did the right thing. You called me yesterday to prepare for today, which is wonderful, which I like. And I think one thing we can actually do now is more social media platforms. Like if there are more social media platforms like TikTok and Instagram and the rest, if they have this, if everything we are doing here, if it can be posted somewhere there as well to get in more followers and more viewers, I think it can really go far by that. And if possible, if there's a chance in maybe in the nearest future when ads can actually be paid for, then like you can make ads on social media platforms to get more people to come here and listen. And that way, little by little, to get to a point where it will move from audio to video, and that is where the real money is. So little by little, you guys are doing a wonderful job. I believe in time it can only go far. Thank you.
I think we are done for today.
All right.
And thank you so much and have a good night.
Alright, so after listening to that, what do you have to say? Drop us a comment in the comment section below. You can as well follow us on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Spotify. Alright, so thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you in the next one.